Amongst the many MCU projects that we have seen this year, I had noticed a relation between a few of them. Wandavision, Black Widow, and Loki all had something in common that I thought would be an interesting topic for a video. These three projects try to tackle the theme of free will. Are they successful at it? Let's see. First of all, what is free will? It is the power to act based on our own will, without the constraint of necessity or fate. So, when we are tied to our fate, our actions can often feel meaningless because it was bound to happen anyway. Despite our actions, we might have led ourselves to a certain path. Many stories have tackled the concept of free will, and do we have it? I'm going to be talking about these three MCU projects and Steven Spielberg's masterpiece Minority Report, and how that film successfully manages to execute its theme. WandaVision. I quite like WandaVision if I'm being honest. The ending becomes a little meh for me, but otherwise it's a good show. So how does it tackle free will? Well, in this show, our protagonist is Wanda and she's controlling an entire town to mimic the vibe of sitcoms that she used to watch as a kid. But Wanda is sort of a villain here because she's holding a town full of innocent people hostage. These people do not have free will because their actions are being controlled by Wanda, who, from their perspective, is evil. So, does this explore free will enough? I'm a bit split on it because I like the idea of a hero being seen as the opposite. I mean, Wanda is flawed, but I don't think it works completely because everything is from Wanda's perspective. So we never really get to see what it feels like from the perspective of the people. Monica was also controlled for a short period of time, but she never really feels impacted by it. There are a few scenes where we see the people's agony, and that was great, but it isn't enough in my opinion. But this isn't a huge issue because I don't think free will is something that the series is going for. WandaVision is about how a woman is dealing with her trauma, but I talked about it because it does explore this concept to a minuscule amount. Black Widow. I like this film. Is it great? No. Is it bad? I don't think so. I won't be talking about my thoughts on the film. I made a video on that. But Black Widow is indeed a film that tries to explore this concept. Here's the issue. It executes this theme, but it's half-baked. In the film, the villain Dreykov is holding an army of women hostage. He's mind-controlling them into doing his bidding, but the film doesn't really work because it doesn't feel like this theme is of primary focus. The film is also about Natasha and her family, her relationship with her parents and her sister, and suddenly in the climax, Natasha is telling the widows in the Red Room that they can break free from his control, that they have free will. But then the solution to their freedom is just red gas, so there's nothing to emotionally combat. The conflict can be easily resolved with the use of some gas. Again, I like the movie, but it doesn't commit to exploring its theme. Loki. Now, if you've seen my video, you will know that I'm one of the few people who doesn't love Loki as much as everyone else. Loki is a show where free will is a main theme of the series, and in my opinion, as stated in the video, it doesn't do it as well. Having the characters talking about the theme of the story is fine, but just having that is not good. Having the characters make choices according to their beliefs make for something more emotionally effective. Let me ask you this, which is more impactful, being told that this boy is kind or being shown that he does something kind? In Loki, the idea of tackling free will is pretty great. It's a large scale sci fi show, and having this as its theme grounds it emotionally. But you see Loki and Mobius talking about free will, but there aren't any scenes where free will plays a part in the actions they take or the choices that reveal their true nature. It asks these questions about free will, but it never really answers it. Do we have free will? Do we not? And before the series can answer it, it ends on a cliffhanger supposedly exciting us of season 2. But I don't really care, it's a surface level exploration of this theme. It simply states it, but we never really get to explore it. Now let's get to a story that actually commits to its themes and does them really well. Steven Spielberg's sci-fi masterpiece Minority Report is a film that takes place in the future. Our protagonist is Anderton, played by Tom Hanks, and he's an officer of pre-crime. They have the technology to see a possible future crime and have to prevent it from ever happening in the first place. This makes for some incredibly engaging action sequences, but it also provides for some great conflict. Whitwer, played by Colin Farrell, is Anderton's opponent. The entire concept of pre-crime causes for the exploration of great philosophical ideas. Anderton believes in pre-crime. He believes that those who are to commit a crime in the future must be arrested. Meanwhile, Whitwer is of the opposite belief. He believes that a criminal could have a change of heart in the last second and that arresting them before they commit a murder is wrong. I find this a very fascinating clash of ideologies because I understand both perspectives and I don't really know which side to be on. But in a world where pre-crime exists and the knowledge of you possibly committing a crime in the future exists, do we have free will? Do we have a choice? These questions are asked, explored, and answered. Without spoiling, a certain change of events causes Anderton to be on the run, and Whitwer and him make choices that are understandable because the film has taken the time to set up their beliefs, so we understand why they are in conflict. As the film progresses, Anderton's beliefs are tested, and he and us are often left wondering whether we have free will or not. Their actions accentuate the impact of the theme, and in the end, it does have an answer to the questions it asks, and it is a satisfactory one in my opinion. So, I hope you like this video. If you have anything to say regarding this, comment it below. This could make for some interesting conversation in my opinion, and watch Minority Report if you haven't already. It's pretty great. Thank you for watching, and have a good day, guys.